My name is Emily Parker, and currently I'm a baking and pastry student at the Academy of Culinary Arts. Recently, our retail bake shop, Strudels, has been selling pre-made gingerbread house kits. Before I show you how to assemble it, I'd like to show you what went into making the kits. In the description below, we gave you the recipe we used for the gingerbread. Roll it out on a well-floured surface to about 1/8 of an inch.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Using a template, carefully cut out all of your pieces. Transfer them to a flat sheet pan with parchment. Flat is key to get the best gingerbread house. Bake the pieces off at 350 for 10 to 15 minutes, then let them cool completely. Inside your kit, you'll find 2 roof pieces, 2 side pieces, 1 front piece, and 1 back piece. You'll also get a 12-inch cake circle with a doily attached, large and small cornets, and a pint of royal icing.
When we finally kiss goodnight.
With this gingerbread house, you get to show your creative side and decorate it however you want. I went to the store and I bought mini candy canes, gumdrops, and assorted hard candies. You can also use whatever you find around the house, like sprinkles from Christmas cookies, or you could even use leftover Halloween candy. Royal icing is the glue to your gingerbread house. When you open the container, it might be a little dried out, but don't worry. Mix in a couple drops of water at a time until it is the consistency of thick toothpaste. If it is going to sit out, be sure to cover it with a damp paper towel. To get the icing onto the pieces without making a huge mess, you need to fill the largest cornet bag with the royal icing. Hold it in one hand with the tip facing down. Then spoon the royal icing little by little.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
mine.
mother will start to
Beautiful, what's your
My father
hurry?
will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Maybe just to have a drink
I'll
more.
put some records.
Be careful you don't unfold the cornet by pulling up the inside flap. If it pops out, just tuck it back inside. The best way to prevent that from happening is by letting the royal icing drip off the spoon.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks
I
swell.
ought to say no.
If you fill it up too much, you won't be able to close the bag and you'll make a mess. So a good rule of thumb is to fill it about halfway. To close your cornet to begin piping, take the top and flatten it. Then take each corner and fold it inward.
Think of it as opportunistic.
I simply
Then take the top flat edge and fold that inward as well, about 1/4 of an inch.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Then continue rolling it down until you hit the icing.
nice and warm.
Look out the window. At
Now we're ready to begin building. I like to start from the back and work my way towards the front.
the waves upon a tropical
Grab your cornet and flatten the tip a bit. I like to do this to make sure I get a clean cut.
never such a blizzard.
When you cut, you want to make sure the diameter is about the size of a pencil.
Say, lend me your comb.
It's up to your knees out there.
You've really been grand.
I feel when
Now you want to take your back piece and turn it over. Always pipe on the back. And if there's some flour, that's okay.
I think of my life.
Pipe a strip of icing on one edge of the back piece.
Pneumonia and
I
die.
really can't
Get
stand.
over that old rock. Baby, it's cold. Baby, it's cold.
Now grab your side piece. Make sure that the front is facing outward and attach it to the royal icing. Make sure that both pieces are touching the table so that it stands up straight. Also, fix the pieces so that inside makes a right angle. Like we just did, we're going to put another strip of royal icing on the edge of the back piece and attach our other side piece.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
As you can see, I moved my original two pieces onto the cake board. This makes it easier to turn and keep my right angle that I started off with. Now grab your second side piece, making sure the front is facing outward, and gently press it into the royal icing. Be sure you don't mess up your original right angle and make a new right angle with the second piece.
Sleigh bells in the snow.
If you feel like any pieces are going to unattach, just put an extra strip of royal icing on the inside.
With every
Next, we're going to attach the front. Turn it over, and on the back you're going to pipe 2 more royal icing strips along the. Before we do that, hold the front piece up and adjust the 2 side edges to match up with the front's edges.
and may all your Christmases be
Now let's attach the roof. Take some royal icing and make sure it's sitting on top of this edge and this edge. Take the piece and attach this corner to the top of the house. Make sure it sits equally on either side. To attach the second side of the roof, not only are you going to attach royal icing to the original 2 edges, but you're also going to attach it to the top part of the roof. The reason you want to put it on the top part of the roof as well is because you don't want to be able to see inside the house. As you can see, my roof is uneven at the top, so I'm going to take some royal icing and cover it up. Any mistakes you may make can be covered up with royal icing and or candy. We need to let the royal icing dry before we can start putting candy on it, so set your house aside. While that dries, go ahead and make a couple bowls of colored royal icing. I just added a couple drops of food dye and mixed it up. I also added droplets of water to make sure that they were the right consistency. After coloring my royal icing, I put them into cornet bags. I also made a new white cornet bag so that way I could make a smaller tip for decoration. If you ever have problems using the cornet bags, you can always use sandwich bags or gallon bags. Just make sure you open it, put the icing into the corner, hold it like the cornet bag, and cut off the corner.